Welcome to the Oasis Within Show, a show that would help you learn new ways to train and condition your mind so that you show up in a way that reveals your most authentic self. Each week, we will be offering a plethora of useful advice and insights on how to reinvent yourself so you're sure to find something helpful and uplifting. While you're listening, make sure you follow us on Instagram. Search the Oasis Within Show. Now, here's your host.
Hello, beautiful people. You're welcome to the Oasis Within Show. And today I'm going to be your host, Reader and Catchy. And today is a very special day because I'm very inspired to do this particular episode because it's a topic that a lot of people ask me every time. How do you find your purpose, and how do you find your passion, And I'm very, very happy and excited to be sharing this with you today. It's very good to know how to discover your passion and your purpose. And I think is one of the questions that I always get asked the most. People send me emails asking me how to discover their purpose and, their life callings. And I usually like to break it down with questions because I personally ask myself questions when it comes to my purpose. So I do this kind of examination of some sort and ask myself necessary questions. So I think this is the first step for you to discover that passion of yours. And passion and purpose are words that have been used interchangeably, and but they have two different meanings. And your purpose is something that makes you, it drives you. Your passion is what drives you to get your purpose. So that's very important for us to understand. I usually start with asking myself questions. What gives me that joy and happiness? What is that thing that excites me and gives me that joy and happiness? That's usually the first question. And it's very important for you to ask yourself that question. And I know that it's something that'll be very beneficial to everyone out there who actually wants that experience, to experience that side of them, of their existence. So today I decided to talk about that on the episode today. So what's that thing that gives you that spark? What's that thing that gives you that euphoric feeling of some sort and makes your soul dance? What gets you excited? What ignites you? That's one of the good questions you need to ask yourself. And I suggest you having like a journal so you can write it and ask yourself those questions. On your journal, you could take notes, and you being able to take notes will give you clarity on what you actually want to do or what you want to embark on. And that is the questioning part of it. And you knowing what you want. Now, you need to have a level of understanding of the concept of what makes you unique, what makes you special, what makes you authentic. You understanding this makes a whole difference. I have also asked myself, I've come to a point actually where I have realized that I am unique and I'm special in my own ways and I have my own gifts. And I'm using me as an example because that was actually how I was able to find my purpose. I grew up understanding that I had a passion to help people, but I never really understood. I didn't understand why I wanted to go about it or what I wanted to do. So it took me a while, but I had to start by asking myself those questions, and I started to get clarity on what I actually wanted to do. So it's very important for you to understand the concept of you being unique. That is number one. You understanding that you're a very special being and you were created. You don't have, there are no two yous. It's just you. And you understanding this concept is very important in you finding your purpose. It's very important. And it's also very provoking. And it will give you clarity on where and how to go about finding your purpose. Another thing that makes me excited is how the feeling of trying to find your purpose gives you that centeredness. It makes you centered. It puts you in a place of empowerment and wanting to take responsibility. A lot of people don't want to take responsibility of their lives, or and they try a lot of things to push the responsibility away from themselves. But you need to take responsibility and you need to make a difference. And there's a reason why you were created, and it's your responsibility to find that for yourself, and you have your part, I have my part. We all have our own parts of what of how we navigate life and how we can actually be the best of ourselves. So, what actually makes you excited? What's that thing that motivates you? That when you're doing it, it gives you that joy. What's that thing that makes you excited about life? You need to find out, what do you feel, and what do people come to you for advice, or when they come to you, what do you think attracts people to you? What's that fire that makes you unique? These are the questions you need to ask, because you have that special thing that makes you attract people. People come to you for that reason, and it shows that you are actually you have something unique or a gift relating to that. So that's one way or one indicator to actually find your purpose. You need to also understand how to assess that thing that makes you go into that, imaginative time or imaginative place, and makes you, creative. When you think of things that inspire you and makes you creative, it could be anything that inspires you. It could be a person that inspires you. It could be like people, like heroes. I look at people. I have mentors, for instance. My mom is like my mentor, and she inspires me a lot. And I have other people who inspire me, like they've been mentors for me because I've read their books or I've done their trainings, like um, Tim Ferriss. You have people like Brian Tracy, and they've one way and the other way influenced my life. I like people like Cynthia Ocelli and Brendan Busher. They are people who have sort of influenced the things and the way I think. And because they are like inspiration for me, they've actually helped me to get some clarity also. So it's very important if you have that, that could also help you, because you have to ask yourself what that thing that drives you, that passion, what are the things that you're inspired by? You need to find out. It's very important for you to understand this and to ask yourself this question, because it will give you more clarity. It makes it easier for you to understand what that purpose is. And it gives you a form of awakening of some sort. Because if you have someone, for instance, that you admire, that could also help you, because you say, hey, maybe this is a character or a quality that I appreciate. And with that, that could actually help you also. So there are other things that are very important, other questions too, and activities actually that you can start practicing now that could help you to find your purpose. First thing are the questions. You have to write the questions out. You could also include that thing that gives you energy. What's that thing that makes you energetic? What are the things that you're focusing on? What are you doing with your life at this moment? Are you doing what serves you? Are you doing that thing that excites you? Are you doing that thing that makes you in the groove of things, in the groove or in alignment with your soul purpose? So it's very important to ask yourself those questions. Another question is, how do you see yourself in the next 5 years, 6 years, 2 years, even next year? When you have some clarity from asking yourself these questions, it helps you, you know. And you have to consider one thing also. How do you make a huge impact, or how do you become an influence in the world? You need to understand that it's a process, and you have to be willing also to putting the world work to bring your vision and your purpose to life. It's very important for you to understand this. So it's not it's something that you actually have to work towards. Once you ask yourself these questions, they're sure to like take you to that place of understanding your why, and understanding that thing that you want to achieve. You understanding whether those things are congruent with what you want to achieve is very important. Another question is, are you living life for yourself, or are you living life for what other people have to say about you, their thoughts or their perceptions about you, or their impressions about you? Are you living for you? Are you living their other people's expectations, or you're living with fire, with your own vision of what you want for yourself? This is very important to ask yourself. And you need to harness everything that you have in you and be in a place of using what you have, you know, using you being yourself and using those gifts that you have to do things that give you that exhilarated feeling, or that fire, that excitement. It's very important for you to do this. And I'm sure that, sometimes, you find that your life may not be, you need to take your energy back because you're not doing those things that are congruent with you. So you doing that will help you. And I've learned a lot myself personally that, these are things that are very important for, in order for us to find that passion. So you finding your purpose is something that you have to do on a regular basis, and you have to look within you. You have to ask yourself, just go inside of yourself and ask yourself, how do you find your purpose? So it's going to be a continuous series, this particular episode, because I'm going to have a part two of it where we can actually talk about the benefits also of finding your life purpose. Now, another thing that is very important is for us to talk about the activities and the exercises that you can use to like make it work for you and you achieving your purpose. And a few things come to mind when it comes to that. You need to start by taking a journal. Just as I said earlier, write down everything that you absolutely love doing. What it is, what everything that you love doing, dancing, reading, whatever. I love reading, I love writing, and I love to go into nature. I love to learn every day, and I believe that everybody should have that as a quality, you just learning every day. And I love nature, I love music. I love serenity of a nice location. So those are the things that I enjoy. And then if I was to do that exercise, I'll put these things down. And when you do that, that gives you like clarity on that. And these things are things that are so simple, but yet we need to put them into perspective by writing it out and having more clarity. So for me, because I love, writing and helping people out, that made it clear for me to actually understand what my passion was. I knew that I wanted to write, and that has helped me, of course, know that I have a message to write and to talk about. So these are just a few pointers, and they're little exercises that will actually help you to find your purpose. And once you do this, it will actually help you and it will give you clarity. It's something that you need to do yourself, and it's something that will make more sense to you when you get the results that you want, because you've actually put in the work to find your passion. Another thing that is good to do is being thankful for where you are at this moment. when you think of it and you look back at your past and you look at where you're coming from, and you look of where you're coming from today, it gives you a sense of gratitude. And gratitude is something that that gets amplified. And you being grateful for where you're coming from will actually give you an insight of the potential that you have, and that could give you a potential that can make you know the potential of what your purpose could be. And sometimes it's good to also have like a mentor, have somebody that you look up to, someone who will be there. You need to be your own mentor too, because you have that ability inside to help yourself by self help. And also, you could have a friend or someone you could trust who will critique you in a good way. So, constructive criticism. If you have somebody like that, or you have someone who can help you with this, you'll find out that it will help you also in the process of finding your purpose. So it's very important for you to also try that. And it will make it easier for you to um, go through that process, you know, and it will be easier for you to identify what that purpose is. So, that being said, an interesting topic that is this is finding your purpose. And another very important thing I find that you must do to create that change that you want and make you show up in the way you should, and finding your purpose and being able to be that person, who is achieving their purpose. You need to work towards that. In a day, for instance, you could have like an hour where you have quiet contemplation, where you can think about what you want, and you being able to understand what you want to achieve when you actually have your purpose. Is good for you to be in a state of contemplation so you can think about it and always have the end in mind. Have that result that you want to achieve, have it at the back of your mind, because when you do that, that gives you more insight on what you actually want to achieve. Also, you doing a process or an activity is actually called the process of remembering, helps you because it helps you remember those things that you used to do as a child, things that make you happy even as a child. And I remember for me, for instance, for me, I love dancing, and because of that, dancing was one of the activities that I do. I was into calisthenics, I was into martial arts. I used to be a runner. And those things used to make me so happy. And because I knew I will actually take time to remember those things, that also helps me and gives me clarity of what I actually want to do. When I remember my childhood, I remember those things that I enjoy as a child. And for instance, I also love designing clothes, for instance. And when I was like a child, I started designing so early, when I was 7 years. And that made me just going back and remembering that made me understand that, yes, I actually love to design. I'm very creative. And that helped me. And I said, okay, you know what? With this knowledge of me knowing that I love doing these kind of activities, how can I find a point, or how can I find or identify if those things can actually drive me to my purpose? So it's very important for you to take out time to think that way too, because that helps a lot. And this is something that can be a game changer for you, because it gives you more clarity on what you actually want to do. So you keep trying. Remember those things that you get excited about, those things that make you happy, whatever it is. It could be something that makes you, that just, takes your mind off whatever situation you're going to, anything that can make you have that feeling or that feeling of excitement, that is actually something you should consider as something you're passionate about, and that passion can drive you to your purpose. So it's very important to do that. So now, it's always good to understand the things, that your sensory experiences, your sensory experiences, meaning your what you see, what you smell, those things that excite you, that make you on fire, that make you feel excited and happy. What are those things? What are those sensory experiences that actually make you, from seeing, from smelling, from hearing? It could be like a fragrance that inspires you. Can you remember things like that? It could be, as a child, maybe you had a garden or something, and that garden brings back good, happy feelings for you. Those things can actually help you in knowing what you want to. um, it helps you know the things that trigger happiness for you. What are those things that you dream about? What are those things that, as a young child, you were excited about? As simple as silly as it may sound, but it actually helps you. Those things help you have a sort of um, insight, and those things actually start to appear in your reality, because things that you think about even in the past are things that are in your reality now. And that's actually how you create your reality, from things that you have in your mind, or your mental, those things that you have in your mind always, to things that you want to do. It has a way of like shaping what you become. So it's very, very important for you to understand that, because when you have good thoughts and you think of the good memories and all that, those things actually help you, and they propel you to find your sort of identity, and that propels you to find your purpose. It's another very good exercise is, you writing it down, your top 25 goals, or your top 5 goals. What are the top goals that you have? What are those goals that you feel that you want to do? What is on your bucket list? These are little things. It may seem like it may be hard a bit, but when you start to try other things, you find out that you may surprise yourself. So you trying out these little exercises can actually make such a huge impact for you. So write a list of 5 things that, or 5 goals that you would love to have. If money was not an instant, or if your current reality was not the situation, what are those 5 things that that you want to have, and that you want to experience? So let it be a list, and write them down. Let them be, you could be, make them 5 things. Just take your time, look at your list, review it from time to time, and with that, it will help you to actually have an understanding of those things that you want to achieve. So that's another exercise that is very important for you to try when you want to achieve your purpose. Streamline those goals. Take your time and have like a soul searching. Take your time to think about it, and just keep, you just keep going, and keep going, and keep being inspired continuously. So you focus on 5 main goals, and the journaling, and you going back to a place of remembering. Those are like little exercises that will help you, and the journaling actually helps you because it's like fleshing out that dream, or fleshing out that purpose that you want. So it's very important for you to journal. That's part of it. So make sure you write out those things, and with these few exercises, I know it will really help you, and we could try, and this will help you to find your purpose, and it will help you achieve a lot of success. So with this, I want more questions. Please keep asking us the questions and keep following us on all social media platforms. We're on Instagram, the Oasis Within Show. We're on Facebook, the same, the Oasis Within Show. And when you keep trying a few of the things that we mentioned here, you find out that they help out. And if they have done any positive, if gotten any positive results from some of these things, please always feel free to like write. You could send us an email or send us a message, and just let us know that yes, this is helping you, and we'll create more content relating to this. So I want us to always learn together. I want us to grow together. That's the whole essence. The whole essence of this show is not to brandish what I know, because I'm also a student in the world. I'm also a student learning every day, and I want us to learn together. And I know there's always that thing that we all have to make the world a better place. And I hope and pray that all my everybody watching, my audience, always get to feel that. I want to use this opportunity to also say a big thank you to all of you. You've been an integral part of my life now, and I'm so excited. There's been so much growth, and I'm so excited, and I do what I do because of my love for humanity and to help people. So thank you so much for all the support and the good comments, and the letters, and the questions. It's such a huge honor to have such a great community of people who want a positive change in their lives. So I thank you very much, and I'm very blessed to be sharing this with you. So thank you so much, and stay blessed. Thank you, and see you again.
Welcome to the Oasis Within Show, a show that would help you learn new ways to train and condition your mind so that you show up in a way that reveals your most authentic self. Each week, we will be offering a plethora of useful advice and insights on how to reinvent yourself so you're sure to find something helpful and uplifting. While you're listening, make sure you follow us on Instagram. Search the Oasis Within Show. Now,